I think bold is the word, and this is a time when the G20 and the world need bold leadership. We'll need bold leadership to help the world really implement what the UN has agreed it should, the Sustainable Development Goals.
Also President Xi is surely a courageous man when he says we should take the bull by the horns. So I'm impressed, and he has even dreams about reforming China. He wants to get a blue sky, he wants to get clean water, and he wants to get green meadows. To reach these ambitious goals, he really needs some kind of reform of economy, and I think in the last years the first steps of reforming economy are already started.
Actually, China did a great thing since the reforms has initiated in 1978. So then the Chinese leaders made great things. But after time being, in any country, China needs some structural reforms to reshape the economy and state structures and institutions. So in that sense, President Xi Jinping's term is very important turning point to restructuring the country and economy also. So transparency and also combating with corruption is very important for that. So for use the more efficient of the resources and also capacity of the country.
시다라고 불린다는 것을 들어보니까 상당히 부럽습니다. 왜냐하면 중국까지 큰 나라의 국가 지도자들은 국민들 입장에서 볼 때는 접근하기 어려운 굉장히 그 존엄하고 높은 사람을 보기 때문에 그런 표현을 하기 어렵거든요. 그래서 국민들이 국가 지도자를 시다라고 표현한다는 것은 그만큼 친근감을 느낀다는 뜻이고요.
Because of his experiences during his in the 1960s, during the Cultural Revolution time, he was like most of the youth during that time. He was also sent to the villages. He was asked to raise pigs in a small village while he was still studying in Tsinghua University during that time. So this has provided for a lot of connectivity between Xi Jinping and the people. So we see frequently President Xi Jinping, there are a lot of photographs, Xi Jinping with the common people in various places. We have also seen photographs of Xi Jinping with his mother walking in a garden. So I think in terms of leadership quality, President Xi Jinping had suggested that he is moving closer to the people.
Well, I think the leadership style of President Xi is very impressive. I think he's quite close to people's needs and interests, and he managed to instill renewed energy on the state apparatus and bureaucracy with clear purpose and very well-defined set of goals. Having myself worked at the UN and being myself a former minister in my national government, I know very well that that's not an easy task for a new leader. But he has done very fast, terrific impression in the multilateral community as well as in the Chinese people, as far as I can see, traveling throughout China.
China is such a huge country. You must have a strong leadership. Well, without a strong leadership, a weak leadership will not work. So China now, of course, is quite lucky enough to have this strong leadership. You have a so-called top design. You have a wonderful reform plan, but whether you are strong, really strong or not, depends on whether you can implement all those policy blueprint. That's very important. That's also is what people expected.
I think if I've been observing for past 2 years, and what China is emerging as how China is emerging as a global leader, and in this case, I can say Professor Xi is a visionary as well as a dreamer, and this will support this. I think he will be a catalyst in making China to becoming a more responsible and more contributor for the world prosperity in economic terms as well as the political terms.
And I think that the leadership of President Xi in China has an effect that goes way beyond the borders of China. And it is in that respect even more important, because it's a reform not only of China, but is leading the way, is demonstrating leadership at the global level.
China President Mr. Xi Jinping good leaders for the Chinas. And then China and Myanmar friendship since 1,000 years. Yes. Our country is nearby China. Friendships as well as families of our land. You see? So, your President, Mr. Xi Jinping, I honor for the guidance, good guidance, leadership. For your China also, our country.
He spent many years like self-disciplining himself. So I think that's a very powerful factor for great leaders. Right? I mean, many of great leaders, they go through difficult hardships, right? Having through those difficulties, I think President Xi Jinping, he can endure things, right? And he can control himself. I understand that Xi Jinping gets lots of respect from the general public of China. I suppose that he will be one of the great leaders of Chinese history. Let's see how he goes.